Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Phoebe Alexander. It's my pleasure to be your MC here this morning. First of all, thank you for coming. I would like to introduce to you our new chairman, ACCF chairman, Monica Chu. Would you please put your hands together?
Thank you for taking your time out today from your busy schedule on a wet day to come and attend this media conference. Today, here at ACCF, we are all very excited to announce that we are able to reveal a brand new website to you. Sam, can you please start our PowerPoint? This is the landing page of our new website. This new website will have English, traditional Chinese, and simplified Chinese. And under the About Us menu, we have our mission of ACCF, our management committee, and you're able to look at our CV on this under this tab, and the council board, our advisor, milestones, and resources and publications. All our annual reports will be uploaded here, and any other publications such as the brochure that we are going to launch today will be published here, will be here as well. I welcome you all to log on to our website, which is www.accfnsw.org, and have a look and see and read the stories that we have about ACCF. So
now we would like to welcome our founding chairman, who started ACCF many years ago, to come and tell us a bit more about the funding rounds. Would you please put your hands together? Let's welcome Dr. Peter Wang.
Distinguished guests, members of media, dear friends. As mentioned by our chairman or chairwoman, Monica Chu, Australian Chinese Charity Foundation was established 28 years ago when we were young.
Yes.
I can hear Benjamin's laugh behind me. You were young, Benjamin, yes?
He's still young.
Soon after its inception, the foundation provided much needed funding to support needy individuals and to support charitable works among our communities. While ACCF may have a big name, but it's not a huge organization. We all have a burning desire to make our country, Australia, to a better place we call home. I won't bore you except to summarize what Monica said to you early on. There are three types of funding. The project funding, maximum $7,000. The sponsorship funding, $5,000 up to 2 years. And the individual emergency funding of $1,000 each for each needy individual, based on submission on referral from community, organization, or hospital. I know and we are aware that $1,000 is not much nowadays. I think the committee is looking at to review it. Maybe we should give people more when they're in need. The funding application open now, as mentioned by Monica. The closing date 31st of August. The check presentation will be held at our annual dinner at Marigold Restaurant on Saturday, 13th of October 2018. I hope all of you can turn up. In recent years, we also received funding applications beyond New South Wales. Therefore, while we acknowledge and most grateful for the support of our sponsors, patrons, trustees and members, we appeal for more generous friends to join us in this meaningful vision. Last year, under the leadership of Dr. Michael C., who was somewhere there, Michael C. there. we had provided grant up to 27 organizations. Hopefully, we'll have similar success this year. In the past, apart from funding and grants, we also have public appeal. But the national, international disasters such as Sichuan earthquake, Taiwan earthquake, tsunami, Victoria bushfire, many of them are very active in raising funds. We have the members here. Together with people at the Way Network and Alliance, we raised nearly $500,000 for tsunami appeal. And that was chaired by Hudson Chen, who should be here soon, I think.
He said he was coming.
Only recently, last year, we raised fund or provide funding for bigger Shire Council Mayor appeal. Today, as mentioned by Monica, I really need to thank our corporate sponsors, and namely NAB, who's over there, with David Toe, and Invocare, JP over there, and of course our guardian, check of finance, who is James over there. I think it's important not with how much money they give to us, but rather with PwC and Invocare and NAB, they give us a profile. Is something, somebody, some organization people should trust, can trust. And thank you, Jim. And again, we thank NAB, private bank, and whose representative David Toe is here today. Over the last few years, NAB has donated their Chinese New Year raffle proceeds to us across Australia. So as a result, not only just a proceed from the money raising, but rather introduce us to different states in Australia. As a result, we also get more application from them, and hopefully we can extend our friendship with other friendship at other states. Lastly, I think you'd like to know, often people mention charities spend money on promotion, advertisement stuff. Some spend up to $500,000, 50% of the fee of the proceeds on administration and promotion. ACC have no worker, so no expenses. But I have to say that Mrs. Faith Hand over here had offered to give us a 1 worker 1 day free. We haven't taken up yet. Thank you very much. So you can see all the work our volunteers. I think we should be very proud of ourselves, and we should be proud of with us that we're trying to do the best job as we can. So today, on behalf of ACCF, the other way around, we'd like to thank our committee members of funding grant of the year. Some are here, Chloe is there, all times here, and Annie is there, Cecilia there, who else? Faith there, Faith, yeah. She was the year before them. Yeah. Okay, I think maybe Monica's right. Any other question? Before that, can I say a few words in Cantonese or what's over? 今日好高興係睇到好多朋友嚟呢度講。本來咧 Monica 俾我3分鐘嚇，而家佢講太早完咗嚇，我講咗3分鐘都可以。今日係宣佈好多事啦。第一件好事 Monica 新齡委員會啦，佢係主席啦嚇。第二件事係我哋嘅今日個網站啦，頭先提到啦嚇。第3件事係我哋今日撥款嘅計劃開始啦。個撥款係有3種㗎，有各個社團嘅分類社區項目係最高7,000蚊啦，有啲係贊助計劃係5,000蚊，最多係2年嘅，仲要係個人計劃。等下我哋再會宣佈嘅懷愛基金嘅計劃。所以我哋係社團可以申請任何一個款項。所以希望我哋嘅截止期係8月31日，而家開始。如果喺網站嗰度咧，去載下我哋嘅申請表，係希望大家係參與到。公金成立咗28年，以往得好多人支持。公金唔係好多錢，但係好大嘅名，唔知點解啊？咁問下。 嗰啲有好多人支持咁樣黃先生呢個上次我哋嘅 council 嘅chairman以往好多人參與係，就算我哋係唔係好多錢都好，係每年都係唔同幾多好多計劃，今年28個計劃係馬克思嘅領導之下，希望今年都呢啲咁成功啦。撥款嘅講咗係有我哋係以後都有唔同嘅種類啦，有啲係好似多元文化老人家兒童都有唔同嘅申請嘅項目，大家可以嚟申請嘅。準備放假。
The continuation of this morning's media conference. Now we're going to start with the next section, which is going to be the launch of the ACCF Legacy Fund. First of all, we'll welcome our chairwoman, Monica Chu, to say a few words. Monica, thank you.
Thank you, Phoebe. Before we begin the proceedings for this afternoon, I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of this land on which this meeting takes place, and pay respect to the elders, both past and present. The Honourable Ray Williams, MP, Minister for Multiculturalism and Disability Services, all former chairmen of ACCF, trustees, sponsors, donors, friends of ACCF, and media friends, thank you for your time to come and support us. Today's event marks a significant milestone in the history of ACCF, which is the launch of the ACCF Legacy Fund. We are very privileged to have the full support from the Premier and the Minister at today's launch, and to witness the signing of the deed of the Legacy Fund with the donors of the Pack Family Fund, the Faith Family Fund, and St. Luke Fund. This concept was initiated by Dr. Peter Wong 2 years ago, and I will leave it to him to tell you more about the Legacy Fund in a few moments. Thank you.
So now, please put your hands together as well. Welcome Dr. Peter Wong to tell us more about the fund of Legacy Fund. Dr. Peter Wong is also the founding member of ACCF 28 years ago. Thank you.
Thanks, Phoebe. That makes me very old. Minister Ray Williams, distinguished guests, trustees, patrons, corporate sponsors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike New South Wales government, we don't have a lot of money. I attended Minister Williams' talk about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. He funded Essex School, Community School, $10 million. There you are. On behalf of the language school, I was first chair. Thank you. Phoebe used to be the chairperson for the Language Council New South Wales. Why do we have a legacy fund? As you know, we all want money for charitable work. And money have to come by. We have no stamp duty, okay? No buying, selling houses, okay? So you need to fund some way. Long time ago, Minister William, we thought about starting ACCF with Benjamin and Dosa and Eric Wong there. We thought one way to have a fund in which you don't touch the capital and only use the interest to support community project and individual. As a result, the fund growing over $2 million, but still not enough. We need a lot more. So we thought because overall Australians are very generous. They like to donate charitable work to charitable causes everywhere. We also think it would be a good idea if they can name a fund according to someone they love to remember, so that the fund will be forever stay there. The interest derived from the fund will fund community charitable work. So that concept, because we also know you need a sizable amount of money. So we thought $250,000 as a starter would be good. Immediately, we have 2 other people, generous people, support of such a vision, which is Dominic Peck there and Faith Ten there. Let me mention to you, briefly tell you my story and their story. I started with my father many years ago. He was a student. His father self tofu in West Borneo. He went to China, studied medicine. He ran out of money. The father used to send money to him from Indonesia to China. He waited and waited in a lodging house for days. There was no money coming. One day, a businessman walked out of the lodge and saw him. The young man, what are you waiting for? So I'm waiting for my father to send money to me, but he hasn't arrived. The friend hasn't arrived. So the guys felt sorry for him, gave him a silver coin at the time in Daito. Silver coin, he survived on that. And then he finished medicine. He was a superintendent in Sino-Japanese War in the hospital, went to Indonesia. And he did a lot of charitable work, and obviously. And just one incident very quickly. One day he came to visit us in Australia. And we were walking towards the central station. Lo and behold, the old man walked up to my brother and myself and said, "Could you lend me $10? We said, "What for?" "I ran out of money. I need to buy a ticket back to double." My brother looked at me and looked at him. "How do I know that guy is not a gambler? How do I know he's not using money to buy alcohol?" He said, "No, I haven't got money." My father walking right behind us, long distance away. And then he stopped. That guy approached him. And then he talked to him. My father came up. We asked my father, "What happened?" "I gave him $10. "What for? He could be a crook, he could be a gambler, he could be a drunkard." Does it matter? Does it matter if he's a gambler, a drunkard? What if he lost $10? What happened is real. We didn't do anything. So that taught me a lesson that in life, money is not everything, I suppose. I'm really encouraged by all the friends here today. Dominic Peck is a very famous GP in Chinatown. Long time ago, I went to the church and met this gentleman. Somebody introduced me. "This is Dr. Peck." That was his father. And we shook hands. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "Chinese name, Peter Wong." I said, "What do you do?" He said, I was retired GP. I'm from China, in Guangzhou. I said, "My father was GP too." And lo and behold, his father and my father were classmates.
That's lovely.
Yes. And his father, Dominic, telling me then, also very poor. He studied agriculture first year, and then Sun Yat-sen University started first year medicine, and he and my father both were classmates. And his father, Dominic told me the story, same thing too. But one time, with nothing to eat for 6 months, only tofu and rice. So he came to Australia subsequently. The brother and my brother here, and then he came here. And Dominic and I become good friends. And his wife, Cecilia, worked for your department. Where's Cecilia? Cecilia, come see, sell to your boss. Cecilia also a very good friend, a social worker, a very capable person. The last not least, another good friend, Faith. Faith, another interesting story. She finished her teacher's degree in China, never practiced one day as a teacher. There was an opening of the China, so he being a capitalist, okay, he and his then boyfriend started a private business. And then the business grew and become very successful in Guangdong province. But the interesting story is Monica was a director of Australian Nursing Home Foundation. This woman was a volunteer for years and years.
And I didn't.
Nobody knew she was a multi-millionaire. Nobody ever knew. Nobody ever knew that. So that's how humble, how generous she is. And so we three of us I thought we just throw a little bit of match, set up a little fire. We hope more and more people join us to remember your father, your mother, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. Have a perpetual fun, because every year we let you know where the money goes to. Okay. I will support the youth and disability. Dominic Fund for domestic violence, and Faith Fund will be HK. And of course, you put more money into it. Looking across the room now. Very good idea to left money for your children. Why not left some for the community so that a lot more people can benefit from it? Here's my message. Thank you.
Actually, I just want to say, Faith is still a regular volunteer at the Australian Nursing Home Foundation on every Wednesday. She actually has to take leave today to come for the launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Phoebe. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. 大家好，我是在女士们、先生们，大家好。But I should say, first and foremost, as Premier of New South Wales, I want to congratulate ACCF for all of the wonderful work they do in the community, but today in acknowledging all the sponsors and supporters who have helped establish this legacy fund, because not only do the hard-working members of ACCF ensure that those most in need receive benefits of this fundraising, but now we can acknowledge and thank all those people that have stepped up in this formal way. It's truly encouraging for me to see this in action, because I've had for many years observed the wonderful work ACCF does. It's selfless, it's relentless, and it's so appreciated by the wider community because it reaches those most vulnerable. And it also means that, heaven forbid, if there's a tragedy here or overseas, that ACCF's always stepped up and supported those causes. But this now allows ACCF to go that step further and have a better opportunity to plan ahead and determine what organisations and charities need the most support. I want to congratulate all those who've worked hard to make today possible. I want to congratulate and thank all the corporate sponsors and generous individuals who've come together for this important cause. And I want to thank ACCF for the ongoing role you play in dedicating yourselves to supporting those in the community. And on behalf of the people of New South Wales, we extend our debt and our gratitude, and I think it says a lot about how warm we feel about the Australian Chinese community. You are part of us, we are part of you. We are friends for a long time, and that fact that you are doing this to support the community more broadly says a lot about your contribution, and I deeply thank you as Premier of New South Wales.
Thank you.
Now we would like to invite the Honourable Ray Williams, MP, Minister for Multicultural and Disability Services. So we'd like to come to front to say a few words and perhaps officiate the launch as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here. Can I very, very respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet. Can I acknowledge Monica Chu? Can I acknowledge Dr. Peter Wong, Faith, Dominic, all the respected leaders of their different Australian Chinese organisations who form part of the Australian Chinese Charity Foundation, for being here today, for joining with us, but joining with us in this great spirit of generosity in creating a legacy fund to reach out and help people. And Dr. Peter Wong, can I thank you for warming up the crowd? Can I thank you for acknowledging this wonderful spirit of giving back by wonderful Australian people, and especially the Chinese Australian people. I've been very, very touched by your generosity, and I want to acknowledge that only just a few weeks ago we recognised the 200th anniversary of Chinese in Australia. A significant milestone, as I often say when we talk about the history of Chinese and Chinese people in Australia, we very much talk about the history of Australia since European settlement. That is an absolute fact. And when you look around and you see the great achievements of Chinese Australian people, whether it's in the areas of medicine, whether it's in the areas of business, and I acknowledge Benjamin Chow, my good friend that is also here in the room, and Eve Chen, who was here, and Hudson's not with us today. Where's Hudson? Probably good.
He was supposed to be coming.
There you are. He's not here. But I acknowledge those wonderful people and the achievements that they have made individually, and you acknowledge and you admire that great resilience of strength of migration in Australia. It has been a wonderful country, but you acknowledge those incredible achievements of migrants and what they have achieved. But one of the greatest achievements will be that generosity of spirit of giving back to those people who need it most, to some of the most vulnerable members in our community. And I really want to acknowledge ACCF and what it has done over many, many years, but particularly in just the last year, a very, very generous gift, a donation to those people suffering the Tathra bushfires, a very, very generous gift of $20,000 to assist those particular communities in time of their greatest hour of need. We will perhaps never ever know how difficult it will be to lose everything that we ever own. There will only be a small percentage of the community that will suffer those great tragedies, and yet here the Chinese community reaches out to help those people suffering, regardless of those people's background. They just see that there is a genuine need, and they do that. They also help in areas of special need, which is another part of my portfolio area of disabilities, and also on behalf of people and aged care. And we know that we have an ageing population, and we know that there is I suppose a great need to ensure that people age and they age with dignity. And so here once again you see the great strength of ACCF and helping in so many areas. But today Monica, it is my greatest pleasure, and sorry, knocked your glasses down. My greatest pleasure to join with, and we're still waiting for our Premier, and I've been padding now for a few moments, hoping walk in the door. She couldn't be too far. 5 minutes. I'm getting the 5 minutes. I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes. Probably spoken for 5 minutes too long now. Although most people would say if politicians only spoke for 5 minutes, that would be fabulous. It is a great pleasure and a great honour, and I haven't acknowledged the Parliamentary Secretary in the room, the Honourable Jonathan O'Day, who is no stranger, a great supporter of the Chinese Australian community. But it is a pleasure to have you here in the People's Parliament, in the Parliament of New South Wales. And as Peter said, ACCF may not have as much money as the New South Wales government, but I'd like to think, as the Premier said and the Treasurer also said yesterday, this was very much a people's budget. This is about giving back. I mean, it's one thing to have your finances in order and be in a very, very sound financial position, but it is another thing to acknowledge that it's not just about roads and rails and school and hospital. It's about people. It's about people. And so yesterday, as we announced, 3-year-old children will now be able to enter into that early education phase that we know will be so very, very important to their future. Building and investing in our nurses, in our doctors, in our police force, in those frontline services that we all depend on, and also for mothers that are having babies to be able to give that very, very significant support in the early stages of birth. Many mums won't need that support, but knowing that they have access, we know that postnatal depression can resonate, unfortunately, in areas that can make it very, very difficult for mums. And so to be able to give that little bit of support to those young families, like I say, I think it has been a very, very heartfelt and generous budget. And so I commend our Premier and our Treasurer on behalf of that. And this today follows along in that similar vein, the Legacy Fund that will be established to help people in the future. And Dr. Wong, I agree with everything you said. It's if it was only just $10 of giving, that may have been $10 that made the difference in that person's life. Well, here the Legacy Fund will in the future make an absolute difference in people's lives. And we know as a government we can't reach out, we can't help everywhere. We try to help as much as we can, and yesterday was a very, very good example. But funds like ACCF and the Legacy Fund that you will establish, you know that you will touch those people and some of the most vulnerable members of our community, and you will help them and support them, ensure that they get to lead, the best life possible that they can. So I just want to commend you, Monica. I want to commend everybody in the room that is here. I want to commend your generosity of spirit and not only establishing the fund, but what you've done now for over many, many years. We're very, very proud of the Australian Chinese community, and you demonstrate that today with your very, very heartfelt generosity. So thank you so much, and it is my absolute pleasure to launch. Do you want me to launch before the Premier gets here, or we'll launch the legacy? Yes, absolutely. You want me to sign something? Yeah.
Yes, we get the drop me.
可以，没有关系，就在那边。
And should we sign? And then we need to do witness. Might as well get Dr. to sign as well.
Now, where would you like me to sign?
And I'll print your name later.
是瑞他们能打。
We probably should get one for the photo, should we? Should we all look up while we got the...
That's a good one.
So can I just get you to sit back so I can get the signing things?
More papers than what was in the budget.
Yeah. Did you read what you just signed?
I can't read. I was never as educated as you people. Monica said you already had the money, so I'm going to place great faith in what you said.
Are we just done?
阿飛，
飛
望鏡頭。
And Natalie Ward from the Upper House has just joined us too. Natalie, another friend of our community. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Make it. That'd be good.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. Absolutely, my pleasure. That's lovely. Very, very nice.
A round of applause.
Before it's too late, make sure.
Okay. Let's see. So, shall we have our sponsors? Yes.
What do we do with all these photographs?
It's going to our annual report.
Yeah.